Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I read, write, or otherwise want to yap about. Today, I have a very special author guest on the pod. She's the Ukrainian-born and Canadian-raised author of dark romance, and her newest Broody Biker meets Southern Belle romance, Darlin, is available now. Please welcome Ia Lewis.
Thank you for having me. What an intro. I feel like that I just came out in like a sporting event.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It makes me think of like when Kevin James is doing the like NASCAR racing. He's like, and gentlemen, start your engines. And it's like got the real hype music in the background.
I've been watching a lot of like the New Heights podcast because like Travis and
obviously
Taylor and like their intros are insane.
Oh yeah.
Like
they go ham.
Like a minute and a half too. One day, you know.
Yeah. I'm like, one day my creds will like really line up like that.
To the point where you got to start cutting stuff out.
No, exactly.
Right? That's the dream.
Yeah, no kidding. Have you seen the clip from New Heights where he broke the chair?
Yeah, I think I watched it like 3 times. I'm like obsessed. I don't know. Like I'm not super like gung ho about most celebrities, but that I was a Chiefs fan before, and like I like Taylor Swift a lot. Like she was one of my favorite artists, and I really like the Chiefs. So when they kind of came together, my worlds collided, and I was like, is this like a romance book? I was like, what is happening right now? And I think actually a few authors like wrote like a pop star.
Oh, absolutely.
Sports romance. I was like, wow, you're really on it.
Pop star, ex-football player, romance. I saw so many of them, or like pop stars on tour. Like I think there's a book called like The Breakup Tour. That's kind of modeled after that, which I think is so cool. Anyways, speaking of things that we're obsessed with, normally when I have full-length episodes, I like to ask my authors what we're reading, writing, or reading, watching, and listening to. But since we're on a little bit of a time crunch, I'm just curious, what are some of your current hyperfixations?
I recently signed my first trad deal.
Oh my gosh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. Very exciting. And it was... You mentioned that I write dark romance, rom-coms. I decided to dip into romantasy. And this came out because I read Onyx Storm, and then I had the biggest book hangover for 3 weeks, and I was literally like depressed. I was like comatose, like I can't move, and I was like, I'm writing my own, like because I don't know how it ends. I don't know what happens to Zayden. I don't know what happens to Violet. So like I'm gonna write my own romantasy, and I did, and my agent pitched it, and it got picked up pretty fast.
Wow!
So I'm working on book 3 already now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm like 75% into book 3, and that's slated. Book 1 is slated to release like early 2027.
Oh my god!
Which is super cool.
Okay, wait, what's it called? I usually am such a big Publishers Marketplace lurker. I don't know if I've like not seen the listing somehow. But...
It's called the Celestial Seal series. Which, okay, it's really funny how I was just able to say that because the first time I said it out loud, I recorded it on an IG story. And it's kind of it's kind of a tongue twister, the Celestial Seal series. Yeah, I had to practice like 27 times. I'm not joking. It's embarrassing. There's evidence of that. But the first book is called Dawn of the Eclipse.
Ooh.
And it's about an Imperial soldier who takes a rotation at a maximum security prison, and then comes head to head with one of the prisoners, and she learns a lot of truths about her empire that she didn't know, and I think that's all I can say for now. But,
oh my gosh. You said early 2027?
Early 2027.
Already marking my calendar immediately.
Yeah, it's been so fun to write, like compared to contemporary or rom-coms or dark.
Yeah.
I felt like God, you know, because I get to just I'm creating an entire universe.
Yeah.
It's super challenging. Like going from contemporary to fantasy, there's such a learning curve, but it was...
I was just about to say, like, what was that learning curve like for you? What were these new kind of trials that you had to navigate in writing?
I think there's lots of you have to describe a lot of stuff, and in contemporary, you don't really have to. Like when a character enters a bedroom, for example, in like a dark romance book or a rom-com, like you can just say, you know, but in a fantasy, obviously it's different, and it's a chamber, and it's enchanted, and like this and that, and the colors and the vibes. So it's definitely a little bit more immersive, I think. And that was something that I struggled with in my previous books. Not really struggled with, but I didn't find it necessary. Like I'm more of a dialogue girly or like internal monologues. So, but I think it's like really helped my craft, and I can hammer out chapters so easy now. Like it's just, so it's great. It's been a great experience. Blood, sweat, and tears though. Like hard. It's not for the faint of heart, but I've been having a really good time, and I'm really excited for it to be out in the world.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. What was the process like for you switching from indie to moving towards trad?
So I had I had indie releases already, and it's honestly been a really good experience. I'm signed with Arndell, and they're very author forward, like very supportive. And I haven't had a lot of issues. Like, I mean, you get edits back, but every single edit that I've gotten back has helped my manuscript in a way. Like, obviously, there's a part of every author that when you get an edit back, you're just like,
you're like, let me hold my breath real quick.
Yeah, like, let me pop my, like, hydroxyzine, which I have done a couple of times. But honestly, it's nice to have, like, an outside perspective as well, because it's like they know the market, they know readers, they know reader expectations. Not that I don't, but obviously it's nice to have people in that like professional space where they're able to like give you these resources and kind of help shape your manuscript to be the best possible. So I'm having a really good time. So I'm enjoying the trad process so far. It's slow. That's the only thing compared to indie. Indie's like boom, boom, boom every 3 months, release. Indie's like very, chill, like we'll get there.
Like, let me build the anticipation. And then be patient.
Patience is like the number one thing I've learned as an author. Like, I don't know, patience is a key word. Like, if anybody wants to be a writer or an author and go into trad, you just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Things take time.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, don't I know it, girl?
Yeah.
So not book related, but I have it on good authority that you're a Swiftie.
Yes.
Okay. Dying to know, what are your top 3 albums, and what tracks from her entire discography do you claim as favorites, or you feel like she wrote for you?
Okay, I'm not gonna do albums, but I'll do songs.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Absolutely fair.
So Long Live, Enchanted.
Incredible.
Those 2 are, I think those are on Speak Now.
Speak Now, yes.
Yeah. I was watching the documentary, and she didn't do Long Live in like one of the versions of the Eras tour, because I didn't go, and I was like, where is it? But on the other ones she did it. I love that song. I actually played that one a lot for my romantasy.
Yeah.
Not like just like the chasing dragons.
Yeah,
There's dragons in my book,
yes.
but it's like the fairy tale kind of vibes. I love that song. Anything off of like Evermore or Folklore, Willow. Like a very good one. I've recently, after watching the Eras tour, I really like Reputation. Ready for it. Yeah. I really like that song. Yeah. And honestly, any Taylor Swift. Cruel Summer. That's so the one I attribute to like this book, to Darlin.
Yeah.
Every time I post anything related to Darlin, I just put on Cruel Summer. It's the vibes.
I was going to say that perfectly leads into my next question. So to our listeners that may be new to you and your work, share a little bit about Darlin specifically.
So Darlin came as my little brainchild after watching Sons of Anarchy. I'm going to do a little spoiler here. So if you've never seen Sons of Anarchy, sorry, close your ears, but everyone dies at the end. Like, not everyone, but like everyone, it's not a happy ending. And then I was traumatized, and I decided that I'm going to write my own motorcycle club romance where, it is a happy ending. And Darlin was supposed to originally be a dark romance. Like I had like an old English font picked out, and then I was trying to think of like an interesting plot line. And I was like, okay, well, what if like a Southern belle kind of like infiltrates this motorcycle gang?
Yeah.
But as soon as she opened her mouth, I was like, this cannot be a dark romance. Like, we're going to have to try to rom-com a motorcycle club romance, which is a little like, it's not as common, I don't think, because a lot of MC romances are darker and grittier. Yeah. As soon as Savannah opened her mouth, I was like, no, this sweet girl, like, she will not, like, there'll be limits to what she can handle.
Yeah.
So that's how Darling came about. And it was really fun to write. I would say that this book is one one of my most fun to read because there's a lot of dialogue and it's just so much banter. And they were so fun to write as a dynamic together because she's like super sassy. She's like a Southern Belle pageant princess who learns that her runaway little brother joined a motorcycle gang in California. So she like uses all the money she has left, travels to California, doesn't tell her parents. And she wants to bring her little brother home, but he's not there. So she ends up having to shack up with the vice president of the Sons of Sorrow. And it's just, it's beautiful chaos in a bottle. And they're like Jesse, my MMC, he's broody and cocky, but he's also like very funny. Like he's a little sassy himself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's not like cinnamon roll, but in the form of like leather vests and bikers. So that was really fun dynamic to write.
I think it's such a fun way that you transitioned from, because typically normally you're a dark romance author, or at least you were. I love seeing you break into these newer genres. And while we had talked about the difference of writing romantasy compared to your others, was there anything beyond the female main character's voice that was like, oh, here's me shifting from dark to rom-com? Like, what were the kind of challenges there that you had to navigate?
I think especially with, you know, marketing it as like an MC romance. Like I do like an MC rom-com so people know what to expect, but obviously there's like motorcycle club elements in it. And then it's challenging to balance, you know, the light side of, you know, a criminal organization, because you can't go too heavy on, you know, the crime or like the illegal activities while you want to keep it a rom-com, right? Like I would say this is like a pretty good beach read, so I can't go like super dark and gritty with it. So I had to balance how to figure out like what plot elements I could use that would still be realistic for Savannah to not look at Jessie and be like, oh, okay, like you're a monster and I can't do this because like I'm supposed to be Miss USA, you know? Like, so I had to balance that. So I think that was a little bit challenging. I like to, I don't have a specific genre that I stick writing in. I think it's because I'm a mood reader. Like I will read anything and I'm a mood writer. Like if I write 3 dark romances in a row, like your girl needs a break. Like we need something light and fluffy. So Darlin was that for me. That was super fun to get into.
Yeah. So you recently also released Dirty Little Secrets.
Yes.
And are set to continue the series with Filthy Little Games.
Yeah.
How long do you expect the series to be, and what's been your favorite part of writing it?
Well, you know what's funny? So I released a book like probably 5 years ago. It's called Company Inc. and it was a love triangle. And like love triangles, people either love them or hate them. And I've been told they're like, write a why choose, why choose, why choose. So I was like, okay, we're going to do a why choose. So Dirty Little Secrets is out. Filthy Little Games just came out like a few weeks ago. And the 3rd book, Pretty Little Promises, will be out at the end of March. So that series will be complete. And it's a slow burn why choose. So the 1st book kind of reads like a love triangle, but I just wanted the readers to know that it is going to be a why choose. And for me, like the fun element of that is that the MMCs are rivals with like a really complicated past. Cause I feel like sometimes when you read why choose, it's like they're buddies or like they're very known for like going after the same girl, or, you know, there's like some sort of agreement, but, there's like an enemies to friends arc, and it's not even with like the FMC, it's with the MMCs. So like they have their own side journeys, which was really fun to write. And it's fun to write different dynamics. I really played with the concept of twin flames versus soulmates.
Yeah.
So this is like an MFM. So like she's with both of them, but they're not together, but they have like a good relationship towards the end. We got to get there. It's pretty rough going. But with one of the characters, with Damon, I really played into the twin flame aspect where you're kind of like, you're so similar, but you're polarizing, and there's always a push and pull.
Yeah.
And with Quentin, I wanted her relationship to be more soulmatey, where it's like there's harmony and balance and they kind of fit. And it's fun to write a why choose where it's like she doesn't have to choose between a twin flame or a soulmate, and you kind of get to see how those dynamics work out with them, like supporting each other, you know, discovering their flaws and moving through, you know, difficult situations together. So that was really fun to write. Lots of banter too. Really smutty, like probably like my smuttiest book. I was gonna do the dedication to that one to like, to my family, ... If you're reading this, please put this book down.
Yeah.
Like, I would still like to make eye contact with you at dinner. Like, yeah, it was one of those.
Okay, so in honor of the Winter Olympics that are happening right now, say that all of the book tropes were competing in the Olympics. What 3 tropes would you put on your personal podium?
On my personal... Oh, that's a really good question. I like this. Enemies to lovers. Yeah. And you know what? I'm not one of those book girlies that like I need genuine enemies to lovers. Like soft enemies to lovers is fine with me too. Like it needs to be like a little friction at the beginning where you're like, I don't know how I feel about you type of situation. So enemies to lovers, slow burn. I love a good slow burn, but not too slow, but like slow enough, you know, slow enough to keep
feel
me
the
interested.
journey.
Yeah. And like morally gray characters. Yeah. Those are always fun.
Especially, I love the rise of like morally gray female main characters.
Yep.
I love watching feminine rage on the page.
Yeah, one of my, I have a book called Bloodlust, and it's about a mafia queen who gets sentenced to anger management after, you know, throwing like a lipstick or something at a kiosk at Chanel. And and she's like very ruthless, very, you know, mafia born and bred, and she's the new queen and she just took over. So she's kind of morally gray. And that one's like a mafia queen therapist, but there's like lots of twists and turns. I find that though, when you write morally gray characters, I have had a lot of pushback on that, like calling her, you know, like they'll call characters like, oh, she's like really bitchy, or she's like too aggressive and too this. So I feel like there's a lot of double standards when it comes to writing female characters that act like male characters, and then suddenly, you know, like I think Taylor Swift said that there's like a different vocabulary.
Oh,
it's always like strategic versus conniving, right? Like, and I want redemption for Camilla, because she does the things that a man would do. Yeah. And like that's like one of the major plots in that book as well, is like I would not be dealing with all of this stuff if I had like male parts between my legs, and I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so word on the street. I say word on the street, but it was just me cyber stalking your website. So in one of your fun facts, you said that you got thrown out of ESL at age 9 after you got scared of Frankenstein, and that meant that you understood it too well.
Yeah. This actually happened. I vividly remember this. I was in like, so ESL is like English as a second language. So like when all the kids were going to English class, we would go to like the foreign kids would go to ESL, and they, you know, teach us English, and we would have to read books. And I think they made us read Frankenstein, and I went to my mom. I'm like, Mom, this is really scary. Yeah. Like I'm alarmed. Yeah, they were like, okay, like you can go back to the regular class now. It was really funny. Granted, this was like also in like the early 2000s, like 2003. So maybe they would have been a little bit more.
Maybe it's, first of all, the fact that you were reading Frankenstein at 9 years old, props. I didn't read Frankenstein until I was 18.
I think we were just like, it might have been like a children's condensed you know what I mean?
Fair, okay, yeah.
But either way, I remember being frightened.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it makes me curious, because there's a new Frankenstein adaptation on Netflix, I think, with Guillermo del Toro.
I just saw that.
You did? Okay, I was hoping
I didn't watch the movie, but I saw that it's out there.
I was going to say, if you have watched it, were you still scared?
It looks kind of spooky. Like even just like the cover, it looks like very gothic.
Yeah. Yes. Gothic is the perfect word to describe it. It was phenomenal. Probably one of my top movies of the year.
Really?
Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I really loved the book.
Yeah.
And I think Guillermo del Toro does just such a good job, especially now that he's potentially in talks to adapt Phantom of the Opera, which as a theater nerd, I am obsessed with. Yeah. So... yeah.
Phantom of the Opera is a classic one.
It is.
It's like the tortured brood.
Yes.
Like it's very like romance.
Moody.
Girlies love that type of vibe.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, to close out the episode, I always like to do a game of rapid fire.
Okay.
So there's no wrong answers. There are only your answers.
Okay.
Ebook, physical book, or audiobook?
Ebook, Kindle.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Friends to lovers or enemies to lovers?
Enemies to lovers.
Yeah, I think we've established that. Writing playlist or a project Pinterest board?
Project Pinterest board, probably, because I can't write. I have to write in silence.
Oh, really?
Either like plinky plunky background music that you probably hear at a spa. But yeah.
Okay. Couch reading or bed reading?
Honestly, either just give me like a throw blanket and a pillow.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go. Yeah.
Someone made a good point earlier. They were like, I feel like if I read in bed, I'm going to fall asleep. And honestly, that happens to me every single time.
I have never fallen asleep reading in bed. I have like
Really?
I have like one of those Kindle donuts where you like attach it, and I bought the clicker thing.
Yes.
Like 3 months ago. Revolutionary.
Oh, absolutely.
My husband, like, he's not here right now, but I have talked about this Kindle clicker so much. It's like, I'm like, it's my most prized possession. Like, I don't know how I ever lived without it, because your hand doesn't cramp. It's amazing.
I know. I love it because, like...
I go full goblin, too. I'm like...
absolutely. Just peak laziness on my part. Happy ending or a cliffhanger?
Happy ending for, like, a full series. Cliffhanger, I'm okay with for... if it's, like, book 1 or 2 or whatever. But if it's a cliffhanger at the end of a series, I'm going to burn someone's house down.
And then forbidden romance or billionaire romance?
Put your hands together.
Yes. Put them together. I want both.
I want both.
Awesome. Okay, so even though we're at Love Lit Con right now, by the time this releases, we won't be here anymore, and it makes me so sad. So tell our future listeners where they can find you online.
You can follow me on Instagram. It's E.L. Lewis Writes. I will also be at Villains and Vixens later this year in Orlando, so you can find me there. My DMs are always open. If you want to chat about anything, I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, there you have it.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning into Talk Wordy. And again, my thanks to E.L. Lewis for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Talk Wordy Pod, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.
Bye.